Microphone check. That's working absolutely beautifully. Good morning, YouTube. Street Switch Photography, back out again. There's that Vespa PX. Love it. Someone's got some good taste. I'm just taking a walk down to the town estate, the town estate place, just to see what's on their board for events, so people know where to come and look when there's events on. Now in the future I will be covering a few of the events in town. Whatever they are, whether I agree or disagree with them, is besides the point. If you want to pause the video and get some events in so you can see what's on, there's one. There's two, and the final one is that one. So yeah, take a look, see if there's anything there that takes your fancy. I know there's more events coming up, they're always doing new events. I just thought it'd be worth a walk around town on a Saturday, you know, go and grab a coffee, come down on the ped, see if there's anybody to talk to, see if there's any content to catch, and just see how we go from there. Nothing major has happened in town or out like that, which I suppose is a good thing. I know it's lack of content for me, but I'm not too bothered by that. See you in a minute. So we just took a quick walk down to Wilton Park to see if there's anybody about. People going for the morning walks and jogs and stuff like that. People on the gym behind me. So I thought I'd take a walk down, come and sit down, enjoy the fresh air. Now recently I've had a friend basically turn around and say to me that he's coming off social media for a while. And do you know what? I completely respect that. He says you need to smell the fresh air, smell the flowers, touch the grass, start to enjoy a bit of nature a little bit more, and start to realise that there's more important things than social media and putting your life out there and everything else. Everybody has an opinion nowadays, and everybody wants their opinion out there, and with the invention of social media, it's been very easy for people to say something from behind a keyboard and say things on a keyboard and act extremely brave. But when it comes to actually going out there and facing the issues and everything else, a bit like I do with my camera, they're actually at the forefront of it. They shy away from the camera, shit themselves and do a runner. So the saying they're all gob isn't just made up, is it? Now I'm just going to sit the camera down and turn it round. See you in a minute. So yeah, back in the same place we were before. So yeah, with the invention of social media, you've got X, you've got Facebook, you've got YouTube, you've got Rumble, you've got loads of them out there. And people put things on there that probably don't make a sense to a lot of people, but that it does to others. I mean, I put content out there to basically show the changes that are happening in Melton Mowbray, because I think it's important that we have these documentations to actually look back on and sort of say to yourself, do you remember when it was like this, or do you remember when it was like that? The same way the older generation turn around and say, do you remember when it was safe to leave your front door open overnight, and you knew that when you got home after a night out on the piss, you know, your house would be absolutely, you know, safe. Nothing would be stolen, because people back then had respect for each other. That's because in the war people had a sense of community. People had that sense of community and helping each other, and that's what seems to be lost in Great Britain. Now, a post the other day on Reform UK talking about the flags and the Union flag and everything else, and all the leftists came on saying they shouldn't be wasting the time with this, there's more important things to worry about. How fucking dare you? Keep your gob shut, because for a start, that Union flag represents every single person that lives and works and sort of spends time in Great Britain. It's not just for English white male people. It's for gays, it's for the LGBTQ. It represents absolutely everybody that lives in this, you know, brilliant country that's quickly turning to shit, to be quite honest. But, you know, now they've put this this sort of slightly watered down version about the flags in Leicester. They shouldn't be flying LGBT flags, and they shouldn't be flying this flag, and they shouldn't be flying that flag. Have I got a flag for being heterosexual, white Christian male? No, I fucking haven't. Do you know why? Because I ain't a narcissist. That's why. I don't need to scream it from the sodding rooftops that I'm a white heterosexual male, because what goes on in my bedroom with my wife is my business. Nobody else's. I don't need to tell anybody else. I'm just getting on with that side of my life quite happily, actually. I'm a happily married man. Anyway, rant over. I'm going to take a quick walk around the park. I'll probably go for a walk around the Memorial Gardens in a few minutes and see what's going on. It's quite a nice day. It gave rain, but don't look like it's going to rain to me. All right, see you in a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to walk up to the camera again. See you in a minute. Let's play a game. See who can name this scene, and I'm going to take a photo of it as well. Somebody will be able to remember it. I'll give you a clue. A 90s movie. What does it remind you of? Do you know what I mean? You've got to sort of look to realise what it is I'm talking about. Let me put the camera down. I wonder if it'll actually do it from down here. There we go, we've got a photo of that. But this scene here, I'm going to leave you to guess for a few minutes because I'm going to sit the camera down and turn it back round and have another word with you. Now, I'm using this rig on my camera and the new microphone because I'm recording in 4K, and somebody noticed that there's a little bit of a problem with my editing software. It's called OpenShot and it isn't that good, but I'm going to try and sort that out. Now, yesterday I was in Greg's, I was grabbing a coffee and an independent councillor walked in. Now, we all know how the independents feel about me and everything else and what's happened in the past, which I did do a video of apology and everything else. Nobody seemed to listen to that apart from one. Now, this lady is a very nice councillor. She came over to me and she asked if she could sit with me and have a drink, and we had a good talk about everything that was going on in Melton, about her beliefs. We have got different political points of view, but we actually sat and debated for at least half an hour. I'm not going to mention her name because I don't want her to be sort of ridiculed for talking to me, because I know that type of thing happens down the council. But she was the only one during the local elections that actually stopped and said hello to me, that actually stopped and answered some questions, that actually stopped and sort of, you know, gave me the time of day. And I respected her just as much as she respected me. And that lady is a special lady, I think. She's got a lot of time for a lot of people and a lot of love there. And she's a fantastic person. And I just wanted to put that out there. She knows who she is. And she sort of gave me a boost in confidence yesterday. A boost in confidence that I've sort of needed back for a good few weeks after everything that happened. Now, I'm not going to go into details about everything that happened. Something's happening up in that tree. Looks like two pigeons are having a bit of a bonk. It's not just pigeons that do that down this park, is it? But anyway, yeah, I mean, very soon in Melton, I'm coming off the subject now of councillors and stuff like that. Very soon in Melton, there's going to be absolute gridlock, traffic, chaos. Because over the summer holidays, they're going to be locking certain roads and blocking them off because of the bypass. Now, everybody wants this bypass built, done and over with. It's been wanted for years. But now we're getting complaints that these, roads are going to be shut and it's going to cause absolute chaos. Well, sometimes you have to make that sacrifice, don't you? You have to make a sacrifice to get what you want. And I think it's going to be a good thing once the bypass has been done. We'll see how it affects Melton. Hopefully it will take the heavy traffic out of Melton and people can begin to enjoy Melton more. And that way the council can get more people coming into Melton to spend the money in car parks and earn back the £40,000 that they made, they made a loss on from a cock-up that somebody made. So there you go. That's my thoughts on that. See you in a minute. Now, yesterday's video was quite interesting, because I took a walk up Scorford Road to go and look at some roadworks up there and, sort of wanted to know what was going on and everything else. But I just found it interesting that they closed off Newport Avenue. They were dredging all the rivers, dredging all the drains out and stuff. And I haven't seen a dredger like that for a very, very long time. And the guys didn't mind me recording it, so I recorded it, hence the short on Facebook. I left it out the main video because I thought it'd make a decent short, but I'm just going to go and take a walk round to the other side of the park, and I'm going to go and take a picture of the boats and the boat trips and stuff that happens down here, Melton and Oakham waterways. Now, I know a particular person has been thrown out of the waterways just recently for reasons I don't know, and I wouldn't say thrown out, just disowned from the waterways, and they're trying to worm their way back in. I wouldn't, because that person's a virtue signalling, I won't call any names, just a very, one of these people that like to virtue signal all the time, needs a pat on the back all the time, needs that person to tell him he's doing a good job. See you in a minute. I'll start the camera when we get around there. So I'm just going to show you the boats and stuff. You can come and have a trip on a boat up and down the river in Melton now. Melton Waterways have worked hard to get this sorted out. They've been dredging the river and cleaning the river out for some months. A couple of years ago, I did come down and do some actual footage of it and stuff like that. But yeah, there's all your boats for your boat trip. I think you get a life jacket and things like that under the weeping willow. I'll get a picture of it. There you go. We'll walk a little bit round the other side and see whether we can get a better picture of it. Now, it's been quite dry weather, so the river is really, really low, but the vegetation is properly overgrown, which I don't mind. I like vegetation. I'm not a veggie per se, but if I can get a decent picture of it from here, that'll be a bonus. There we go. So I've got a couple of pictures of that. I'm just about to go and take a walk into the centre of town, because soon I've got to meet my partner and other family members for a cup of coffee. We all know how I like my coffee in the morning. And I'm basically just out for a morning walk. And I think they've made some progress on the bridge as well, I believe. Let's go and have a quick look. Now, it's going to take time. You've got to remember that this is going to take time. The new bricks that have been put there, look, they're new ones, they are. And they're going to take time to discolour and look like the old ones. So, before anybody complains about that, yeah, that's why that's like that. But you can see they're not far off finished. And this was from a crash that happened a few months ago, where a load of sheep got killed, crushed up against the side of the bridge, because somebody had a tractor and a large trailer on it and went round the corner. I don't know whether they went round too fast or whatever, but that's what happened, and it didn't look good. Let me turn my camera. So yeah, that's what happened there. But it looks like they're actually doing something with the bridge and everything. They're getting it fixed. It's taking some time, and the old sort of bricks and stuff are going to take time to look like the new ones, because you've got to let it sort of weather, haven't you? You've got to let the bricks weather so they look like the old ones. A bit like any building, I suppose. But there you go. I'm going to stop the video, take a walk back into town and go and grab a cup of coffee. See you in a minute. Now, it's going to be interesting to know what's going to happen to Leicester Road. There were rumours that they were going to turn this into a single lane. So how would that work at the end here, considering it turns two ways? I don't know how that would all work, but here come a load of bikers riding down, and it looks like they're pulling up into town. So what we'll do is we'll take a walk up into town, because there's about 7 or 8 of them, I think, probably more. But there's a lot of bikers pulling up in town, and they're what we call rockers. Now, I'm a mod, and if you've seen the film Quadrophenia, you know what that's all about, and there's plenty of documentaries online that tell you about it. But yeah, here come all the rockers and the bikes. This should be interesting. I'll start the video as soon as I get there. See you in a minute. So here we go, guys. They're all pulling up into town now. Just recently, there was a post put out on Facebook for all the bikers to turn up to somebody that was going to a prom. And basically what happened was there was hundreds of bikers that actually turned up. And it was a fantastic show of respect for the young girl that was going to a prom. I'd say there must have been 200 to 300 of them. I mean, look at these bikes. They take great pride in these bikes and everything, don't they? You've got to admit. I don't know if there's any more coming. So they've turned up in town, park here, go for a coffee or whatever it is they do, which is fantastic. So there you go. See you in a minute. So if you haven't seen the film Quadrophenia, make sure you go and have a look at it. It's from the early 60s, I think, 60s or 70s, and it's a hell of a film. I think you can get it on sort of Amazon Prime and places like that. I know that it was on the Channel 4 catch-up TV thing for a while, but yeah, it's a pretty good film. Go and watch it and let me know what you think. See you in a minute. So with the new planters in town, it seems it doesn't quite work how it was supposed to have worked. I don't know whose that is, but anyway. So guys, I've just set up this composition because I thought it looked quite nice with this bit of shadow and the wheel there and all the bikes here in the forefront. Let me know what you think. I'll include this photo in the video. yeah, I've just took a photo of it. It'll be a 50 megapixel photo. It's only on my phone because I haven't brought a camera down with me today. But yeah, what a nice picture that is. I think it is anyway. Let's move up. I'm going to try and get a couple more compositions as well if I can, and see how we actually get on. But beautiful bikes, and they take so much pride in them. I mean, some of the paint jobs on these bikes is unbelievable. Even on the helmets. Look at the paint. Look at the paint on that helmet. That is mad. Beautiful bikes. Beautiful. See you in a minute. So as you can see from this angle, what I've actually got is the back of the bikes here. I've sat it on this bench, and I'm going to try and pull it back a little bit and set up a composition for it. Now, I'm only using my phone, but if you're into photography or anything like that and you can't afford an actual brand new camera with a decent megapixel count, you know, and everything else, this is probably the way to go. Use your mobile phone and use a cage like I use on mine. I'm just going to get a quick picture of this guy looking at the bikes, because that includes a human element into the actual picture as well. There's lots of people looking at the bikes and stuff, and they don't seem to mind me taking photos, so I'm going to continue to do so until obviously asked not to. But I'm going to go to the other end now, and I'm going to set up a composition there and see what I can get. See you in a minute. So this is the next composition. The reason I like this one is because you've got the helmet at the top there on the wing mirror, and you can see the bench in the actual foreground here. It's a layered picture, so you've got the bench, which is one layer, the bikes, which is two layers, and then obviously the buildings that go up to one side, which is another layer, and then the sky. So what I'll do is I'll take this picture and I'll include it in this video. See you in a minute. So yeah, I've took a photo of that. I'm basically trying to include a couple of human elements into the photo as well, so if anybody comes to look at the bikes and things like that, you get their expression on the face and things like that. And that's what it's all about. Street photography is all about sometimes events, sometimes just catching people, you know, making a gesture with the hands, or in some sort of emotional state like happiness or sadness or something along those lines. And to me, that's the most important thing that I try and catch in an image. When it comes to taking photos of people, I actually had a bit of a sort of chat with somebody the other day, and I put some photos up on my Facebook page, Photography It's All About the Edit, and all of my photos do include a human element, but this was somebody mentioned that they prefer those type of pictures where it's more wide and sort of cinematic. So that's what I've tried to achieve here with these photos. I'll have to edit them a little bit, obviously. I think I've got a preset that I can probably use on them. But again, I'm only using my phone, which is a Samsung, I think it's the A54. It has got a 50 megapixel camera on it, which is plenty good enough for social media. I will be investing in a Nikon D800 very soon, because next year, after Christmas, I'm thinking about starting to photograph weddings and doing modelling shoots again, because I enjoyed doing that, and I haven't done it for such a long time. So yeah, that'll be the future. See you in a minute. So this guy's on his way, or he's reversing it in. Yeah. Brilliant. So I've just been chatting to a couple, or a lady that's basically came to Melton for a quick break. They've just come back off a cruise, and she was surprised to see all the motorbikes turn up in town and everything. And I've just said to her, the lads, you can go and talk to them. They won't take it offensively of your bikes and stuff, you know. And I've just told another lady that there's some events coming up if they ever want to visit Melton again, just to pop down to the town estate, which is just down here, Park Lane. Estate is on the left hand side, and they have a notice board there of all the local events coming up. So what I'll do is I'll walk up here, because the people that are interested in events, go and take a look at My Melton. Kelly is the one to go and look for that, because she is the one usually doing all the coverage of the events and everything. Here's some events that are on soon. So as you can see, yeah, there are a lot of events going off in Melton. We've had new seats installed and people are using them. But one guy was saying that maybe it's something to look at before they actually put the shrubs and stuff in. Somebody actually cut the hand open on one of these yesterday. I don't think they've been filed down, these parts here. Somebody actually cut the hand open on them, so maybe that's to look at, because it is quite sharp actually, that is. Yeah, so that could probably do with filing down, but other than that, absolutely fantastic. Look at it. Vibrant Melton. More of a positive vibe. So I quite like this composition here, guys. I've got a person just walking up towards the bikes with a Zimmer some description, but I want a human element into the actual photo. Now there's about 9 bikes here, one's just left, I don't know where he went, but I'm going to take this picture here. I'll include it in the video, let me know what you think. That's going to be the last composition of the bikes I actually do take. Obviously if I wanted to include a human element I would, but yeah, quite like that one. I'll edit them and include them in the video. See you in a bit. So if you're struggling to be able to afford a camera and everything else for some photography, if you want to do street photography, landscape, anything like that, mobile phones are plenty nowadays, and they're actually catching up with, you know, DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. I mean, they usually have 2 to 3 cameras on them anyway, so you can get you know, all sorts of different effects from cameras, and there's lots of different apps that you can use as well. Long exposure apps, there's different retro, so they make your photos look retro apps, and just have fun with it. I mean, it all depends what sort of look you're actually looking for within your you know, your photography. If you're doing landscape photography, I'd say probably your best bet is to use a phone if you're just starting out. Now, I started out with an old Fujifilm. It was 9 megapixel, but this one that I'm using today is actually 50 megapixel. I don't know whether it shoots RAW or not, because I've not really got that deep into it, but I will be having a good look at it when I get home to see what I can actually get out of this camera. I'm pretty good at doing that, and I've got about 40 to 50 cameras anyway, including film, digital, retro, all sorts, digicams, DSLRs, everything. So you can imagine the amount of cameras and the amount of abuse I get off the missus for it, because I'm always looking to buy a new one. Now, I have spotted a Pentax K5 in CEX, which I might get for my birthday, because that would make a perfect street photography camera, and I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm going to turn the camera around onto me. Just about to walk to go and meet my daughter from a singing lesson, and then I'm going to walk back into town and grab a coffee. It's actually quite a muggy day. I have come down on my Vespa. Again, I was going to go and park it in the centre of town, but obviously all the rockers and everybody turned up, which was a little odd. But anyway, they let me take some photos and stuff, and they let me record the bikes and everything. Some lad putting his thumb up at me over there, look. So yeah, what I'll be doing is going to meet her, and then I'm going to go back into town. So what I'll do is I'll chat to you shortly. See you in a bit. For anybody interested, this place is still being done. That's an old church. I'm going to take a quick photo of it for reference. So yeah, that's being redone over there just off St John's Court, the old church. So what I have just noticed is this sign here. This place is now up for sale, which is the old Tuxford and Tebbits, if you can see that. And I'm going to grab a quick picture of it, because all this will be getting knocked down in the near future. So yeah, that's up for sale now. They're on about changing it into flats. I don't know whether it's got, I don't know if it's a listed building or not, but it wouldn't be difficult to find out. I'm having a look round to see if there's any planning slips anywhere or anything like that, and I can't see any. So yeah, another thing of a bygone era in Melton Mowbray, I'm afraid. Tuxford and Tebbit Stilton Cheese Factory. Melton is supposed to be the rural capital of food, and it seems to be going in the opposite direction. It's becoming the rural capital of fucking socialism, and Meltonians do not want that, and I don't know how many times you have to say it for people to fucking listen. But anyway, there you go. Nice new sign for the old brewery. This was an old brewery at one time, believe it or not. A factory, a brewery, whatever you want to call it. Sorry guys, I had to show you this. That dog's just shit a big red cross. I thought it was funny anyway. So this has been Street Switch Photography, back out in town again on a Saturday. We've seen some bikers, I've took some photos and explained a couple of compositions. We've even been down to Tuxford and Tebbits. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I may pop in town tomorrow, I don't know yet. I'm just looking at this and wondering what's going to be done with it. But we'll have to wait and see. Stick around for a little bit longer, there may be some bonus footage, I'm not 100% certain yet, but if there isn't, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.